Thank you. As we continue to receive the rains, there are some times where we get some breaks. So let's make use of those breaks to make sure that we carry some critical operations. In this case, we are talking of weed control. Where there's a dry spell or some hours of drying, we have to come in with herbicide to spray our herbicide so that at least it works just before the rains come back. Otherwise, if we spray and immediately we receive some rains, it washes away the herbicides and the chemicals. So during that period, again, if you are not herbiciding, you are using manure, it is advisable again to weed during that time, because once we weed when there's no rain, you find that our weeds actually dry off, and as a result you have achieved 100% weed control. Unlike when it's wet, when you dig and put it back, you are like propagating it. So we are looking at scouting for fall armyworm. Let's look for fall armyworm, and then we make sure we spray again before the rains come, so that by the time the rains come, our herbicide will have actually worked on the control of the fall armyworm and other pests. And we are also looking at top dressing fertilizer. When we get some dry spells, we come in with our top dressing fertilizer so that it dissolves, and by the time the rains come, at least our fertilizer will have dissolved, and we are reducing the chances of washing away of nutrients. But there's another factor that the top dressing fertilizer might disappear through leaching. When there's a lot of water goes through the soil, washing the fertilizer away from the soil, leaving the soil barren and leaving the plants without enough nutrients. So we recommend you do a split application, where we are saying if you are recommended to advised to put 400 kgs, you can say at knee height, or 3 weeks you put 200 kgs, and 3-4 weeks later you put another 200 kgs to give a total of 400 kgs. That will give you a brilliant crop, and you have maintained the potential yield of your particular crop. And if it's urea, it's best applied soon after the rains, when the soils are wet, so that it dissolves and get into the soil, to avoid it it might dissolve and then evaporates into the thin air or into the atmosphere. And again, you find that as we are top dressing, when our maize is at knee height or at 3 weeks, we don't place our fertilizer just by the stalk. We place it about 20-30 centimeters away from the stalk, because that's where the roots are, and that's where our plants are feeding from.